Hi, my name is Pimshanok Darachimtak. Today I'm going to talk about standards. First, US Common Core Standard for Maths focuses on operation and algebraic thinking, number and operation in base 10, measurement and data, geometry for grade 1 students whose age is around 6 to 7 years old. However, this contrasts to the requirement of UK National Curriculum Standard for Maths. For the UK National Curriculum Standard for Maths are more complicated. The curriculum standard involves the same units as the US CSS, but the difference is with the inclusion of intense multiplication and division, fractions, and statistics. I showed US Common Core standards because this unit look more practical, which means teachers do not have to cram all the curriculum within a year. It's more likely that the Common Core Standard of the US would cause less stress to the students who are taught. And with a small number of curriculum units, teachers can spend more time to elaborate each unit thoroughly, building a deeper understanding for each unit. So the big ideas of Common Core Standards of the US are: first, students develop understanding of addition, subtraction, strategy for addition, subtraction within 20. Students develop understanding of whole number relationship and place value, including tens and ones. Students develop understanding of linear measurement and measuring lengths and iterating length units. Reasoning about attributes of and composing and decomposing geometric shapes. So actually I have read some of my cohorts discussion forum, and then I saw most of them comment about Common Core Standards. And one of my cohort mentioned about PYP. So PYP originally is from America. It's been used in America. But for the standard is student learn through playing. So that's the big idea of PYP. And I think for PYP and Common Core Standards, they contain a lot of similarities for their standards. Students develop understanding of addition, subtraction, strategy for addition and subtraction within 20. First, they need to know what subtraction and additions are. Students need to be equipped with addition and subtraction strategies such as making 10, finger counting, number line, using 100 charts. Students can use 21st century skills like collaboration and critical thinking to earn these skills, like group work and math drill worksheets. Students develop understanding of whole number relationship and place value, including tens and ones. Students should know which digits obtain most value in tens and ones, how they could differentiate between tens and one, and how to decompose a two-digit number into tens and one are like the core thing that we're going to focus on teaching the students to gain these skills. Activities will be supplemented to embrace 4Cs. For example, students will get to create their own tens and one blocks or 10 and 1 tables, like for 10 and 1 tables. So they're going to put these blocks onto those tables. Students develop understanding for linear measurement and measuring lengths at iterating length units. Students need to know different unit measurements. The easiest measurement unit would be in cm to start with, or inches. Students will learn how to use these unit measurements, and they will need to practice with real-world situations such as height measurements. For this unit, collaboration and critical thinking will be the main focuses. Students will work with their team to create their own measuring objects and see whether the measuring objects works. Reasoning about attributes of and composing and decomposing geometric shapes. Kinesthetics and visual learning strategy will be used to teach students about geometry. They will first be introduced to 2D objects and learn 2D object names, and then they will move to 3D object unit. They will learn symmetry, tessellation, shape decomposing, and composing. Group work will focus on collaboration, creativity, and communication. They will communicate with their team member to create 3D objects, for example, or tessellation patterns, or how to use different shapes to create new form of shape. So they get to discuss this with their friends and use their creativity to come up with new form of shapes. And example activities for achieving the standards. So for addition, I'm thinking about 3 dice roll addition game. Student roll 3 dice and add up the number from 3 dice. Student will have to do quick mental maths while playing this game. And for subtraction bowling. That's what I picked for this activities. Set up 10 bowling pins and use a ball to knock some down, and students have to write down math sentences. For example, like 10 minus 4 equals 6. The pin can be 20 to 30 pins based on mathematics skill of the students. The mental competition skill enhancements can be used across for like cross-curricular. Buyer and seller role play. Student will use anything in classroom and pretend that he is selling these items to the buyers. So the buyers who are also the student with $20 like they are fake $20 In the end, the seller will add up the money they receive, and the buyer will calculate using subtraction strategy to know how much money they have left. The role play of buyer and seller will be shift in the next role play or like in next class. Students will learn global themes as well as core curricular with these role-playing activities. To assess student mastery of the standards and how I will monitor the progress toward masteries, first I will use 5 questions for exit admit ticket on Kahoot for like general classroom, and drawing to demonstrate students' own understanding. For example, student will be presented with a question and then they have to like solve that question by using some drawing. So I think like to be able to illustrate their thinking will help me understand how much they could understand the unit. And for EL students, like their Kahoot and quizzes will include some illustrations, such as instead of writing the word ego, I will insert the picture of ego instead. Or instead of using the word licorice, where your student might not be familiar with the word, I will change the word from licorice to like candies. For talented students, their Kahoot questions or quizzes will be word problem with more complicated vocabulary, such as earned, put together, deduct, or difference. That word problem will be real world problems. For example, a watermelon costs $2, a banana costs $1, a box of chocolate costs $8. If I give the cashier $10 bills to pay for these items, how much is the change? So yes, they can use this kind of calculation in their real life as well. And for special needs students, observation and performance tasks will be used for assessing their understandings. During the performance tasks, I will give them simple word problem as quizzes. I will sit with them and ask them to explain their understanding of the question verbally to me. While special needs students are writing down the answer, I will look for the skill, abilities, as well as attitude toward the task and where they're struggling with. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you find my video helpful. Thank you so much. Bye.